Hello everyone, this is Janet from Mixed Media Mama. Thank you so much for coming back. It is the holiday season, and usually during this time I have a lot of downtime. And I just wanted to show you the project that I am doing. It is just something that I've been working on for a while. This project is something that I have been trying to take some classes and help myself with my own skills. And I will put all of the information down below. The lady, her name is, and please forgive me, I'm going to probably mispronounce your name, but I'm going to call you Marije. She is Dutch. She speaks Dutch in her videos, and she speaks English quite well. However, she thinks she does not. But I say, yes, I understand her very well. However, her videos are in Dutch. Her classes are online. I will put all that information down. But the reason why I am taking these classes is that I got so excited about her style, and I saw in her style that she really looks at the details, and I wanted to make things with the things that I have already, and that is something that she does very, very well. I just wanted to show you the project. So it is not done by any means, but I wanted to show you each flip, flap, and pocket. But I'm going to show you my favorites on each page. So as you can see, it is quite chunky. There's going to be a lot of flaps. I'm a pocket queen. I love tucks and pockets. I believe that is something that every journaler needs to have, unless you are a journaler, unless you write in your journals. I am a memory keeper. I love to put pictures and journals in there. So that is what I like to try to make into my books, my journals, or even my projects. This first is just the cover. It is just the flap, as you can see. And I am definitely a sewer. I love to sew, and I am definitely a vintage. The image is from Tracy Fox, Love Junk Journals. But the details that I loved is of course, the sewing, but the ripped areas. This frame is just a frame that I had. Don't even know where it came from. But it was a full piece, but I just cut it out, and then of course I layered it. But I loved how, and I'm going to try to bring it up close, where my finger is, I learned the imperfect of all of this. I just kept ripping and pulling back. And then of course that allows you to use some rub-ons or stamping. And here's another area that is just ripped back and pulled back. I love that ideas. And then the ability to use just a few strands of fiber. That is something, those are the details that I look at and I think just makes it so well. So that is my favorite part of this whole page. I'm going to open it up, and we're going to go to, there we go, this page right here. Excuse me. My favorite part is this right here. Is how cute is that? It is held together with that little strip of remnant fabric that I had, and it is like a belly band, but the fact that I can put something, just a collage on that belly band, and you can still see the fiber or the fabric, and then using the tag, because the other part of the tag is underneath this frame, And it just gives it a really nice, sturdy. I love that. That is something that I'm really going to be using. It is such a wild concept. I hit my forehead with my hand and say, wow, why didn't I think about that? That was just, of course, stamping and everything. This definitely is just a collage of things that I had on hand. I am a designer for Elizabeth Craft Designs. I am so thankful for that. And I am a guest designer for Tracy Fox Love Junk Journals. And I also am a designer for Marije Junk Journal Treasure on Etsy and Junk Journal Addicts on YouTube. But this is from Marije, and she helps to really fine-tune your style through her classes and her she's always saying, use what you have. If you don't have what I have, use what you have. Make it your own. If you're taking my classes, just save them on YouTube or save them on and then come back to them. She is just very, very good at that. I liked this part because it flaps. I mean, it just keeps flipping and flapping. And I like that. It's like a puzzle. It just is so intriguing. And her technique is so simple. It's very, very easy. If I can do it, I am not an engineering mind at all, but I love the simplicity of and I know it may be a little much. There is a lot here, but there is also, I'm doing this for me to help me make my style better. Absolutely love the inks and the mixed medias. This page right here, and I am going to take all of this out. I love to collage. I just love more is more on top of things. But this little tuck right here, it is literally made out of a tag. It's like a 2x3 maybe tag. Or it's about the size of the box. And I just cut this off to make it look like a little file folder. How she takes those ordinary things and makes them into tuck spots. Wow. That is my favorite. Of course, then I collaged using Tim Holtz Tim Holtz collage paper. That's part of his. And then just use rub-ons and just added a little bit of collage. See, it's these details, like the tag or that little label right here, the, a little, and this is something that I had and I cut down, and, the little, eyelet. Those details are so imperative to me that I go, wow, I should have thought. These are just simple tags using leftovers. The next one is, I'm just going to jump right over to here. This is just a whole collage underneath that. My favorite part on this is to remind me, I'm going to try to hold it really still, to remind me that this piece right here, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. This tag right here is like a half of a tag. But this piece of book page underneath the 3 is wrapped around, and you can't really see it. It goes underneath, just like this it's wrapped around. That is my favorite part. I don't have to cut things off at the edge. I can wrap it around and use it as an additional flavor on the opposite side, whether it's going to be shown or not. I don't have to cut it off. I can just wrap it around. That was my favorite aha moment of that. And I can just, there it is. There's another thing that I pulled from the previous pages of just ripping this and folding these two little pieces back. That was just, I'm going to use that more. So going on, we're going to go down over here, is probably this. But I'm going to show you, this is just a large, maybe 3x5 piece, and I use Elizabeth Craft new dies. They are in, I will try to put those down, but they just make little pockets, and these little openings, they just make little pockets. That was one. I am just all for making the most of small spaces, so to speak, to tuck things in. I loved how I used the inks, two different stencils, and I even did a double stencil. I did a shadow. I always like to do that. But my favorite is probably this. Oh, what a concept. What a concept. Taking Tim Holtz or any figure, you know, any of his people, and making a hole, like say into a stamp, and just slipping that figure right into there, making a different, totally different concept and look of using a stamp or a small piece of paper, or it is just, I just go, wow, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. And I just added a little, one of Tim Holtz's little dogs. Of course, it is so this next one right here, it's going to be this piece. Just like this piece right here is very similar to this, but without the fabric. It made it into a nice belly band. I'm going to unclip this, take this out so you can see what I mean. See how I don't have to have something from here to there that's the same width. I can just take a piece, and all this is just a piece of paper. I double-side it. It's two widths, two thicknesses of paper. I just sewed it together and made the X's, and I love those sloppy X's, you know, in squares. Attached it to this little pocket, and it's hanging over. As you can see, it's hanging over. But what a great concept. Wow. That is so unusual, but yet it is so neat. That was my favorite thing. And of course, this is just a piece of paper. I believe this cardstock is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I do not know what book it is from, but it's from one of their books, I believe. That was my favorite. That was just my favorite. I had it clipped up here just so that the paper could just stay. That was cool. And I love playing, we're going to go right here. I love playing with acetate. I'm going to pull this out. And now you can see the alcohol ink. I love the vintage look. This is just a piece of cardstock. I believe it is from Elizabeth Craft Design Book 8. And then, of course, I stamped, cut the inside out. It's approximately a good half an inch, probably 5/8 of an inch all the way around, and made it into a pocket. That is my version because I like to put places for pictures, and most people have a gazillion pictures on their phone, and when they usually do 4x6, but now it's getting much popular to do the really small ones, maybe 2.5 by 3.5. But you can do whatever you want. But before I put this frame and acetate, you can see the coloration. I just colored the acetate underneath. And but you can see the paper that I used underneath too. And it just came out so beautifully, so beautifully. I love adding a little pieces of fiber, and if they hang down, I love that. The little things really make a difference. It doesn't have to be bold and profound. It can just be nice and little. Look underneath there. Everyday words. It's just a little thing, and I just made it. And then enjoy today. There again, it folded over onto the other side. It just works out really well. Okay. This one right here, this little flap right here, my favorite part is probably your eye comes right to it. My favorite part is probably using the spritzes. You can kind of see if I can show it to you. Do you see the spritz in there? There we go. There, you can kind of see that splatter. Those are spritzes. And I try to, instead of using alcohol ink, and this, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And this was plastic wrapping of, just package, plastic. It's very different than this. This was acetate. So the acetate is going to be much thicker, but the plastic wrapping takes spritz like a champ. It is just beautiful. That is probably my favorite part. And also, this was an embossed frame that I had in my stash for a long time, and the spritz took that very well too. So it still made room for the focal point here, but it just gave it a nice little sheen. And of course, using just average things. Here's a part of my favorite. Marley taught us just to take a strip of paper and I made a pocket, because this sticks in, but yet it still looks like it, and then to wrap it around. Brilliant, right? Yeah, it is. Just so cool. So cool. Let me see if I can. Of course, my favorite is going to be, I love the paper, and I was just going to let it be because this paper is just, and I believe this came out of a paper pack of maybe 49 in Market. I used some stamps, some rub-ons, made my own tab, and here is just a nice little tag using Elizabeth Craft paper and just little tidbits. It's the details. It's the details. And that just has a nice flow. Just another page. See, a lot of it I'm not even done. There's 2 tags in here, but I'm not ready to put. This one right here, it is, I never think about the ordinary things that we have. I had some really vintage, really vintage onion skin paper. And a lot of the times the old vintage onion skin paper has a little type of a wax on it because that's what onion skin, especially vintage, sometimes it does. And so I put it on there and I thought it'll never stamp, and it just took it very, I love the organic of crumpling it, making it look like a zipper type of look, and I liked that. And I definitely am going to use that again. And it just, she just had us pull back. Loved that. I may just add just a few, I don't know what that one's not quite done. Like I said, it is just so cool. I definitely am not done because I have a whole nother back. I'm just going to put it this way. I have a tuck spot here. I'm kind of working on the back here and trying to catch up on all the videos that I haven't gotten to. I'm probably about 3 or 4 behind at least. But that's it. And I thank you very much, Marley, allowing me to just follow along and learn from you. You are a great teacher. You really are. You really support artists for where they are, and you're definitely a pioneer into thinking outside of the box. And someday I'm going to get there too. So, hey, thank you very much, and you have a great, healthy, happy 2025, and we'll see you again next video. Take care. Bye.